Empire Stadium attending the 5th and the greatest of the British Empire and Commonwealth Games. 652 athletes from 24 nations have gathered here. They stand in the red and white uniforms of Canada and Wales, the starched Kava skirts of Fiji, the peacock blue turbans of India, the fez-like hats of Pakistan, as Field Marshal, the Right Honourable Earl Alexander of Tunis says,
"Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege and pleasant duty to declare that the 5th British Empire and Commonwealth Games is officially open."
Pigeons, traditional symbol of freedom, soar aloft on 600 eager pairs of wings. And so the most thunderous assault on records in the history of the Games began. All had taken an oath to compete in the spirit of true sportsmanship for the honor of Commonwealth and Empire and the glory of sport, but all had as target at least one of the 91 gold medals at stake. At Empire Pool, the high tower held particular interest. Somehow it always awed me to see a girly-looking girl diving from 40 feet, the height of a 4-story building, down into 16 feet of water, yet emerge with a smile, radiant as that of Australia's Barbara Macaulay, Queen of the High Tower. Over at the Empire Oval, the specially built wooden cycling track packed a punch all its own. Riders from overseas particularly reacted to its speed-teasing challenge with lightning dashes, quick plunges in the high curves, and reckless knifing through seemingly impossible openings. Fencing was as picturesque as in the days of knighthood, though modernized with electrical recording devices. England won 4 of the 6 titles. Even the less familiar sports won new followers because of the all-outedness of the contestants. You feel it in the grandstand. You recognize the big try. It's particularly evident in competitions such as this, where all are champions. Champions from one country facing those of another. A challenge indeed to inspire that last ounce of effort. It is something in the athletic body that allows explosions of directed energy. It is there, plainly, in the twisting, straining high jumper as he leaps higher than himself. It was there in Ken Willemhurst of England when he broad jumped to a new record. It was there in grueling hurdles where, to win, runners must not only run all out, but shave off precious split seconds by clearing the hurdles as closely as possible. And so the drama of brain and brawn continued, building up in interest day after day through 7 days of thrill-packed competition. The arrival of the Duke of Edinburgh injected another highlight. His desire for informality was honored by the crowd, with whom he mixed elbow to elbow. An accomplished athlete himself, Prince Philip proved the most enthusiastic observer of us all. There were many unforgettable moments. The sprinting breakaway of Chris Chataway, England's maker of champions, in the last of 12 laps to shatter the old 3-mile BG record by 24 seconds. Then there was the tremendous moment at Empire Pool when 18-year-old John Hendricks of Australia swam faster than any human in history. Here he is in the 110-yard stint, 0.3 of a second less than the world's record. The women's 110-yard freestyle sent the timers, there were 3 to every swimmer, into a flurry of excitement as Australia's Lorraine Craft whirled to a new BG record. Later, in the 440-yard freestyle, she chopped a whopping 15 seconds off that record as well. and that's Lorraine on the right. George Nichols, one-man team from Barbados, drew new fans to the big weightlifting show at Exhibition Gardens with a new world record in the lightweight press. He lifted almost twice his own weight. All three judges liked it. Then came the big boys, the heavyweights. Canada's Dave Bailey had the crowd gasping when, in the third lift, he raised his total poundage to an even 1,000 pounds for a new BEG record. But he ended second to another mighty Canadian, Vancouver's own Doug Hepburn, holder of the world press record, who totaled 1,040 pounds. His greatest single lift was 370 pounds in the press. In the way of major upsets, the most exciting by far was the one in the Vedder Canal, when the underdog Canadian 8, made up of rowers from the University of British Columbia and the city of Vancouver, defeated England's best. The English had taken an early lead, but Canada drew even at the 500-meter mark and ended with a decisive 3 lengths for the first Canadian 8-oar gold medal in the 24-year history of the Games. Unforgettable, too, was Australia's Marjorie Jackson-Nelson in extreme left lane, a triple gold medal winner who really turned it on in the 220 to tie her own world record of 24 seconds flat. Meanwhile, the pole vaulting tension was mounting in intensity, and the royal visitor, obviously enjoying himself immensely, paused in the infield for a close-up look and saw a new BEG record set by Geoffrey Elliott of England. Then, raw courage unstripped of glamour with the exhausted marathoner Jimmy Peters of England. He had done 25 miles faster than any human ever. He was only 3/4 of a lap away from carving 10 unbelievable minutes off the previous world record. But exhaustion was eating away at his limitless well of courage as the crowd stood hushed. In 15 minutes he crawled or stumbled only 200 yards, but officials stopped him with half a lap to go. And finally, after months of build-up, it came. The moment of moments, the lineup for the mile of miles. Only for a part of the first of the 4 laps around Empire Stadium did Australia's John Landy and Britain's Roger Bannister remain at the pack. Then Landy broke and Bannister with him. As the bell signaled the last lap, Landy was still ahead, secretly running with a 4-stitch cut in his right sole. Now we could feel it. Both were after that 4-minute mile again. Came with only 100 yards to go as Landy looked back over his left shoulder for Bannister, and Bannister broke around his right. Third place came Canada's Rich Ferguson, who ran the mile in an amazing 4 minutes, 4 6/10 seconds. But 6 of the 8 starters had shattered the previous BEG record. And so, Prince Philip brings the 5th British Empire and Commonwealth Games to a close. England ended first Australia second, and Canada third. And the athletes from the 24 countries had made a shambles of the records, breaking 57 of them. Yes, it had been a whale of a party.